Hi everybody, I'm Trudy, One Grounded Angel. This is the weekly angel card reading for the week beginning Monday the 23rd of December through to the 29th of December 2019. So basically the last full week of the year. Can you believe? Let's start reading the cards and see what's going to come up. I don't think that's the right card deck. Let me start here. Okay, so changed my mind, thought I knew what I was doing, didn't quite work out. Anyway, this card deck's right, and we have Archangel Michael for the first card for Monday, so the first card for the week. So this is a very general card deck, but Michael has jumped out, and I do actually have a card deck dedicated to Michael, so I'll go to that one next. Anyway, he is associated with strength, courage, protection, confidence, so very much a spiritual bodyguard and has this kind of warrior-like energy. I mean warrior in a positive way, not in the sort of negative way it's often thought of. I'm using the word he. Angels technically don't have a gender, but he is typically depicted as being a sort of masculine figure, so I'm going with that. Remembering that angels are not human, and the good part of that about that means they're not going to get upset if you don't call on them or if you don't go with what they're guiding you to do, because they have no ego, they have no attachment. Their only purpose is to guide you and to protect you. They're not. They love you unconditionally, but they're not invested in whether you do where they are steering you to do, because they're above that kind of human tendency. So archangels are a different realm of angels. They're not just like your guardian angels. They're a little bit more powerful, and they have the ability to go to whoever needs them all at the same time for anything small or large. For example, Michael is often a good angel to call on if you need help with mechanical or technological issues randomly. So there's been accounts of people calling on Michael to help them with their car and that being successful. And I'm not saying it's going to fix everything, but that, you know, that's something seemingly trivial in the scheme of things that you could look to Michael for. It's not just, I'm going into an interview, I need a head of confidence, please. So anyone can call on angels and archangels. You don't need to be in a desperate situation, and you don't need to be praying. You can just think it out loud or in your head. Yeah. They're available to everybody. So let's go to Tuesday now using the Archangel Oracle card deck. Archangel Michael Oracle card deck. I say that because I do actually have some cards that are dedicated to archangels. Honor and trust your feelings. This is a message from Archangel Michael. So let me read the writing here. Thank you, Archangel Michael, for supporting, guiding, and protecting me as I listen to and act upon my feelings. That part's significant. As I listen to and act upon my feelings. Help me understand and express my emotions with love. So that's really saying, I guess, almost an answer to this. This is the part you ask for help, this is the part you receive it, and you actually go ahead with the guidance. Remember that the guidance we get is usually not a quick fix. It's not like rubbing the magic lamp and the genie comes out and grants you the wishes. The way the universe works is we're in partnership. If we ask for help, we need to play our part in making that come through. So what are the steps we need to take? And generally, trusting your guidance will be a major part of that. So this is almost, it's reassuring you're safe to go ahead with the guidance you've been receiving. And it's really affirming that guidance is accurate and letting you know that you've got some angelic help to assist you as you move in that direction, I guess. So let's go to Wednesday. Yes. This is hilarious. Okay, so Wednesday is the 25th of December. So I don't know where you live, but here in Australia and in some parts of the West, it is Christmas Day. And here we have the generosity card and this is the Saints and Angels card deck. The saint depicted here is Saint Nicholas. So that is the saint from whom the legend of Santa, I say legend, it's not quite the right word, I guess the mythology around Santa came from. Saint Nicholas, and actually looks quite Santa-like, even though no hat on here. Very appropriate for a day in which generosity is supposed to be the mood of the day. And I know that's not always the way it comes across. And I also know Christmas is not a pleasant experience for a lot of you who have difficult or toxic family dynamics at play, or who are lonely or struggling with various health conditions. So I'm not trying to say those don't matter. I'm just saying that the spirit of Christmas is technically about generosity. So you might like to think about, what can I do today that's going to be generous, it's going to help people. And it is not about consumerism, it is not about gifts or money. And I know that's kind of what Christmas has become, and I'm not saying that's wrong either. I'm not saying there's anything wrong with giving gifts to people. I'm just saying this particular card is not asking you to do that. In particular, it's asking you to be generous of spirit. What are the kind things you could do today? Could you say something nice to someone who's clearly not coping too well with things at the moment? Could you defend someone who's been picked on by another relative? Could you do something practical in terms of supporting people who are, I don't know, preparing meals, something like that? So it can be really small things, but just looking to be generous instead of and perhaps that sorry, I'm just getting another download. Perhaps that generosity could be more about you being generous in your thoughts as well. So instead of thinking the worst of people, not necessarily thinking the best of people, but maybe trying to cut them a bit of slack in terms of going, well, maybe they're just being mean because they had some pretty crappy Christmases growing up and this is a hard time for them as well. And I'm not saying overlook bad behaviour, I'm just saying maybe trying to be generous in terms of understanding where perhaps they might be coming from. Thursday, let's move on. Now, Thursday, I should tell you, is a pretty significant day spiritually. No, I'm not talking about Boxing Day sales. I'm talking about there's an eclipse happening, a really powerful eclipse on the 26th of December, I believe. Yeah, I'm not sure how that works in terms of time zones. I'm pretty sure that is the time it's happening in most places, certainly here in Australia. And whenever you've got an eclipse, it really is a more powerful action that's happening. So this is I believe, a lunar eclipse, which is always coinciding with a full moon. Yes, that's right. So a new moon and a solar eclipse happen at the same time. Not every time, but any solar eclipse will be around a new moon, while a lunar eclipse will be around the full moon. I know that's right. I'm just not 100% sure on whether this is a lunar eclipse. I'm pretty sure it is. I may stand corrected, and if I do, I'll put that in the comments of the YouTube video. Anyway, so what that means is the full moon is about release, healing, letting go of what's not working, and something coming to a fruition. So in ancient times, that's when they'd, harvest their crop. So all the hard work you've been doing might come to a fruition. You might have reached a breaking point in a relationship that's not been working, and it's time to let go of that sort of thing. So the healing, that sort of thing can happen around this time. And how that shows up in your life is going to depend on your circumstances, where you're at in your astro chart. So that's a very general rule. But what I'm saying is, just be aware. If there's something you need to let go of, this may help you do it. If there's something that, needs to come to a completion, this might be the time to do it. And you can be quite emotional around a full moon as well. So cut yourself some slack if that's going on for you. Just be really gentle with yourself. Try to spend some time in nature if you can. Crystals may help. They're not everybody's bag, I know that, but they may be helpful for you. And sleep may be disturbed. I in particular can often struggle around a full moon, and sometimes a lunar eclipse can make that really heightened, make me a little bit wired but tired. Anyway, so that's going on, and here is the card. Thursday, hello from heaven. Really sensitive card, because it indicates that if you are grieving someone has passed on, could be recent, could be ancient, I don't know. Whatever's going on, when I say ancient, I mean in this lifetime. Whatever's going on, this is your person saying, hey, I love you and I'm with you. So that's going to be really powerful for those of you who are struggling over the holiday season because you've lost someone. No soul is ever lost. So they're always around you. You can choose to communicate with them. They can always hear you. And I'm not a medium, so please don't come to me to ask me for messages from your loved one. I can't do that. But what I can do is advise you that my understanding, not an expert, my understanding is that you can talk to people who've passed on all the time. I do it myself. Sometimes I can sense them. It's in, a really gentle way. you must go with what feels right for you. Now, if you are not grieving someone, you can take this as a message that your spirit guides are saying hello, and that's going to be really reassuring wherever you're at in your life, even if you're completely relaxed in the holidays. Just knowing that you've got people on your team that can help you. So so many of us, particularly those of us who are drawn to the spiritual realm, who are light workers, empaths, we can feel like we don't belong in this world, and I feel that constantly, and it can be really challenging. So knowing that I have this team of guardian angels, archangels, spirit guides, high level spirit guides, lots of other divine beings, is really comforting for me, because it reminds me that my connection, my value doesn't come from what other people think of me and how they see me and whether they think I'm a weirdo or whatever. It comes from the fact that I have this amazing connection, and I have a sense of purpose through that. And I have, that means that I have people who are always going to listen to me and who will always understand me and offer me unconditional love, which is not something we always get from humans. Let's go to Friday. Ask. Now, my attention was drawn to this yellow circle here. Initially in the past, most of the time in the past, I have thought it was a halo. But now I'm looking at it thinking it's the moon. And perhaps that's just because of the context in which we're talking, where there's a full moon. The thing that we often forget, and I'm no exception to this, is that if you want help, you have to ask for it. From humans, I talk about this a lot in terms of if you're blocking receiving, but also from your spirit guides and your angels. They can't help you unless you ask for help, because you're in charge of your life. It would be a violation of your free will if they intervened in your life and without your permission. And the exception to this is, of course, if your life is in danger and it's not your time to pass, but that's a very extreme situation. In general, you need to ask for help. If you are struggling with something, ask for help. You don't have to know what the solution is or what you need. Just say, I'm really struggling, please help me. That's enough. And you can say that, you can say it as simply as that. In your head, out loud, doesn't matter. And I am someone who often forgets when I'm the most stressed out, when I most need the support, the compassion, whatever it is, I forget to ask for it. So I totally get it if you have forgotten to do that. So maybe Friday is a good day for us to be communicating with our spiritual team, even if we don't need help. Saying thank you. The best prayer you can ever say is thank you. Maybe being grateful for what you have. We know that when we focus on the blessings in our lives, we attract more, and that's got to be a good thing. Okay, let's go to Saturday, the 27th. Is that right? No, the 28th. Whoops. Okay, Sedna, infinite supply. So this particular card deck is dedicated to goddesses, and this one is seems to be associated with the ocean, based on the illustration. I don't know a lot about her. I imagine she's probably Celtic, but I love that the whale is depicted here, because whales are intensely spiritual mammals. The message, you are supplied for today and all of your tomorrows, is written here. And when we are worried that there's not enough for us, we can become jealous of our partners, possessive of our partners, and become jealous of friends who have the perfect body, the perfect house, or whatever it is. We can become unwilling to start the business we feel guided to start because we're worried there's not enough money for us. We are afraid to ask for help from other people because we feel like we aren't going to receive the help we need because there isn't enough support out there for us. Whatever it is that you feel like you need right now, know there's enough for you. Everything is being provided for you. It does not mean you're going to be wealthy. Maybe you will. I don't know. It doesn't matter particularly. But it means that you will always have enough of what you need. So that's material, emotionally, support, anything like that at all. You have enough. There is enough. Trying to get out of that lack mentality and into a more of a prosperity kind of mindset will really help you to, if not to attract more, to make sure that you're not attracting lack. Because when we focus on what we don't have, we attract more lack. Sunday, time to decide. I was going to say, this isn't a common card to get on a weekend because we're not typically making decisions in the weekend. But actually, then I thought, when we're away from work, and obviously some people do work on Sundays, of course, but when we're away, it's often when we tend to engage more in self-reflection and make decisions. So maybe Sunday is a day, particularly if you're on holiday, where you actually make some decisions that you need to make, particularly anything you've been avoiding or that you or putting off for whatever reason. Make a decision now so you can move forward. When we refuse to make decisions, we are choosing to remain stuck, and that's not a good decision to make. Sure, we can delay because we don't have all the right information we need and we don't feel ready, but eventually we're going to have to make a call, and this card is telling you that today is that day. So even if your decision is to find out more information about something before you make the decision, that could be a positive step forward. Even if you're moving away from the stagnancy is the main aim. So when I look at this really mixed bag of a week, we've got a lot of invitations to connect more deeply to our spiritual selves. We see this with the hello from heaven. We see it with asking for help and honouring and trusting our intuition, basically, and the guidance that we're receiving there, and of course with Michael's presence coming through. It's interesting, I just noticed the correlation between this generosity and this infinite supply. If we feel like there's not enough for us, we're not going to be giving a lot either. So, and I'm not saying you need to go around being overly generous as a way to stimulate more abundance coming your way, but just notice whether you're holding back because you feel like there's not enough. I don't want to help this person who's starting a business who is asking me for advice. I don't want to give them that advice because there's not enough work for me, so therefore if I help them, they might take some work away from me. That kind of thing. That's just a loose example. I know this because I'm self-employed, and you do sometimes see examples of people not wanting to share their resources or their tips because they're very much in a, it's me, it's a sum zero game. I have to protect everything and not share it. That sort of thing can come up in the self-employment world. So that's it for the week. Thanks everybody for watching. I'll be back next week and reading for you again, and I'm not really available for personal readings at the moment, but you're more than welcome to email me if you want to book something or lock something in for the new year. I've already got a few bookings, so yeah, it's okay if you're not quite ready yet and you just want to make inquiries as well. There will be a bit of a delay as I'm not going to be as attached to my email as I normally am, hopefully, because of the holidays. So my email address is onegroundedangel@gmail.com, but a better sort of port of call, I would say, is to go to my website, www.onegroundedangel.com, and fill out the bookings form there, and you can just choose to find out more information if you're not actually wanting to book in a session as such. There's lots of information on there about the services I offer, the energy healing, the angel card reading options, and there's also some articles about various sort of, I guess, topics I've covered, including chakras, connecting with your intuition, shielding, dealing with boundaries, etc. So you might find those interesting. My Instagram is @OneGroundedAngel. My Facebook page is OneGroundedAngel. Thank you so much. Have a terrific last full week of the year.